Hello, and welcome to Tarot the Stashway, episode 2. We're looking at the cups. Hello, hello, hello. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Everybody have a nice little sip, sip. That's good. So, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. And I saw some people in before we went live, and I'm glad about that. I have a whole bunch of stuff spread out in front of me because sometimes I am an overachiever and sometimes I'm an overcomplicator. I'm embracing those because, hey, let's do that. Let's do that. And let me, so today we're going to be talking about the cups. And, well, let me back up. Today, we're looking at the suit that is associated with water. Call it whatever you will. We're also going to be talking about those basic correspondences of the suit associated with water. And then we're going to talk about suit qualities. And I'm going to pause right there. So there's three things that I want to cover, and it's a lot. So I'm hoping that you will get something out of this. Please like and subscribe. It lets me know that you are enjoying this content, that I should continue it, and it lets YouTube know that you like the content. So let's say hi to some people. Heather is here. I am excited to do. I learn so much from readers when they offer videos like this. I am so glad to be able to offering this to Jamie. Wandering Mountain Bard Path is here. Jonathan Daly, hello, Jonathan. Medium Betsy Palmer, hello. Pamela Batchelor, thank you for joining. Jonathan, you just enjoy time with your mother. Gertrude is here. Hello, Gertrude. Good to see you. Hola, Lisa. Lisa's going to be on my channel. Like and subscribe, people, so you can stay in the know. And so just catching up. Deanne is here. Hello, Deanne. Thank you for joining. And yeah, cups, vessels, goblet, chalices, etc. We'll be talking about that. I am going to try to encourage you to add things in the chat as best as we can. Hi, Fox with the book. Glad to have you here. Hey, Elaine. I am keeping well, thank you. Regina is here, who is Regina's Tarot and Wirecraft. She is work lurking. Work lurking in the usual, my favorite imaginary Beach Boy song. I love that. So yeah. So all right. Here's some things that you need. If you have not gathered these, I have decided to add this to the start of every video to encourage you. You're going to want something to write with, write on, something to take notes if you would like. Here are a couple of things that I would say about that. Use a notebook that inspires you to write in it. You want it to be practical. You want it to be usable. You want it to be inspiring. And you have to be willing to make mistakes. And let me tell you, that can be everything from one of these little notebooks to the composition books to nice leather-bound things. This is actually what I use as my tarot notebook. And it's one of these that lays flat. And then I have tabs in it for all of the things because that's me. That's what I like to do. So I am encouraging you to take notes. More people have come in. I love this topic too. And I'm glad you said that because emotions are about love. Manasa is here and back to work. Hermit of Visconti, hello. Colette Baron Reed uses the elements in her Good Tarot, Ace of Water. Very nice. Very nice. So, um, so one of the other things that I wanted to talk about. Oh, let me take a sip. Can y'all hear me okay? You can see me? It's all good? Just let me know. Thank you. Susan Beckett is here. Please use this momentary pause to like and subscribe. They made some coffee for this, so might be a little late. I might be up until tomorrow afternoon. So loud and clear. Thank you. All right. So I just want you to know there are many resources available to expand your tarot understanding. I am actually very excited to be one of those resources for you to refer back to. A lot of times people will say, well, back in the day, people would say they learned from a book or they had somebody who helped them. And so I'm going to make a suggestion that as you explore tarot the stash way, that you pick a book that resonates with you, and I encourage you to spend time with it. Read the introduction because I like to do that with books. And then I want you to be willing to underline it, put tabs in it, highlight it, circle it, put tabs in it, all sorts of things. So that's what I've done. And I will show you three of the books that I have. So the first book that resonates me is with the Robin Wood, and the oh, hi Robin. This is a great book. It is one that I studied, and I really appreciate her approach to the suits. I read it from cover to cover multiple times. So this is one that is very comfortable for me. Another one that is very comfortable for me is Tarot for Yourself, and it's by Mary K. Greer. Great, great resource. So those are the two that I am really comfortable with. I also have, because I'm an overachiever, I have 2, 4, 5 other books that are good resources as well. So pick them. If you have a tarot deck that you connect with and it comes with a book, use that, read that. The other thing that I suggest is that as you're learning tarot and you're broadening your understanding, I encourage you to pick a second resource that challenges you a little bit, something that stretches your comfort level and allows you to have a different view of what you're studying. And so with these two resources, one that you're very comfortable with and one that stretches you, I want you to be able to get your brain around this. And the one for me that stretches is the Holistic Tarot by Benabel Wynn. And this is, you can see I've got it all tabbed, and it's very, very helpful. Now, as you're learning, I want you to have your notebook. By the way, Lori Tries Life did a video yesterday on her channel where she was preparing a tarot journal for studying. We didn't talk about that. So, but it was so cool to have her do that. And so the goal, as I go through this, is for you to have resources that you can use to support your growing relationship with reading tarot. And one of the ways to do that is to, I'm one of those people, I want to write it down. And I also think that's why I have lots of pieces of paper. So Today we're talking about the soot associated with water. Oh, you know what? Let me back up and tell you exactly what I would love to have happen when I have completed the initial series of this. I want you to actually have the ability to have a cheat sheet, and these are all of the things that you associate with the element of water, one for all 5 of the suits. And then I would love for you to be able to have one of those for each of the cards in the minor arcana, including the page, the knight, and the queen. Look, I've already got those in there. And then when it comes time to reading the minors and you don't initially have a reaction, I want you to pull, okay, I got the ace of cups, and then you could put these two side by side, and then you can read with them. Does anybody remember Gur Animals and how that worked? Basically, the two things coordinate. So I love this idea of little cheat sheets. Pull them out, grab them. So, Lizzie, hello. Brought your notebook. That's great. Hello, Tracy. So that's the intent. I want you to be able to have resources to support you as you are developing your relationship with reading tarot and deepening it. So, okay. Everybody with me? Putting this aside and taking a note. Got that. And your notebook, you should be writing in it as you're reading these books. One of the great things that I've done is I have, for instance, here's one of my pages. This is the first page of official stuff. Every time you see a different color, that is a different time that I've taken the class or I've added to it. So it's a bit of record keeping. Hello, Kel's fam. Duty calls, need to step out. Bye, Regina. And Cordis, hello. Glad you're here tonight. Thank you. So there's that. Excellent. So let's look at the element of water. So we're talking about the element of water and the suit associated with the element of water. And what might those be? Feel free to pop yours into the chat. We oftentimes will see cups. There's chalices. I have a whole list, but if you have a deck that, what is it called? The element of water. And Jonathan was putting some stuff in there. So, and so we have things like hearts also, and hearts are associated with the playing cards as well. Bowls, fishes, plain water, as Heather had said. It could be ships, it could be rain, cauldrons, vessels, lotuses, flowers, wombs. It could be all of those things. I know I just threw a lot at you, but I want you to, at the top of your page, write down all of the names that it could be. And Robin said, I wonder if cups always have to be water, maybe wine, life-giving blood. You know what? I think there could be wine glasses, and I think it's important to recognize these are symbols. So, okay. Dolphins, yes, great. Kel's fam is almost healed up like that. Do you have are there other names that you've seen for it? Now, I'll catch up with that, but Next, we're going to talk about some of the basic correspondences for the suit of water. And let's see. Jonathan says there's a deck that uses crystals for the water suit, and I think it's the Shaman's Tarot. I would picture it more, the crystals more of earth, actually. Pearls could be. Yes, I could see that. So think about things that are associated with the element of water. And okay, so as we're thinking about the basic correspondences of water, what might those be? Now, if it's me and in my tradition, I think of water as west. I also think of it as the autumn or fall in my world. I also look at it if I'm looking at a wheel of the year and I'm overlaying that with timing, I think of west and water as twilight or dusk because it's the equinox, and that's when there's a balance of light and day. So, um, so there. And we have, here comes my son. Okay, have to be driving. Take care. Sand dollars, shells, things from the sea could certainly be. Cups, water container for something that flows, yes. 5-cent tarot uses teacups. Could be water, could be waves, something along those lines. And Tracy has added in here that some of the basic correspondences are intuition, emotions, heart-spaced wisdom. Yes, very much so. And Kel's family says water equals one of my happy places. About one more week and I can finally dip into the pool or tub. Beautiful. Beautiful. So in the wheel of the year, if we have equinoxes, so we are then in the third quarter of the year. And one of the great resources, another great resource that's out there, like the Complete Book of Correspondences by Llewellyn. Hashtag I'm not selling anything. The Wildwood Tarot does a very nice job of looking at this, and they call in the Wildwood Tarot cups, they refer to as the vessels, and it's the element of water. So Jonathan says that Trash Panda Tarot has grape soda cans for their cups. Okay. Okay, so basic correspondences. You also can think about like what might be the animals associated with cups or water. Dolphins, that was already shared. Any sea creatures or water creatures that could be around. Water itself is, let's see, water itself is one of those things, it flows and it can be, think about water and how does water act in the environment that you know it. So I'm thinking if water is emotions, water itself can be very shallow, but it can also have great depth to it. You've heard that phrase, still water runs deep. So that's a thing to remember. So otters, yes. Fish, sharks, stingrays, yes. The list goes on and on. Yep. So Turtle Dove said, Tarastash, I listened to your advice from the reading this morning. 2 major unreal miracles happened. Oh, thank you. Tangi is here. Hello, Tangi. Calla Lizzie, mermaids, goldfish, teehee. Yes, swans could be there. Hi, Kristen Louise. We're mostly made of water and held together by earth, burned with the fires of what drives us, and breathing the air in and out of all that fuels us. We have full moon for emotion and intuition. It's an interesting choice, interesting conversation, Robin, because if we were to relate this to, if we were to relate water to an aspect of the body, what aspect would water be? It would certainly be blood, because it is most of the fluid. Rosemary Good Journeys Tarot said, let's see if I learn anything for my cards of the week. Ooh, that sounds like a challenge. Dragonflies love dancing around water. Yes, they do. Now, here's a question. Is the dragonfly, it's attracted to water, but it's floating in the air. So which one is it? Is it more air or is it more water? Isn't that an interesting thing to pay attention to? Ms. Tara D, hello. We have blood, mother's milk, tears. Yep, blood and tears. Y'all are good. Thank you. Also, one of the things that I appreciate about water, and I think about a basic correspondence, water has to do a lot with timing, and it has a lot to do with healing. How many times have we said, oh man, I need to take a bath just to relax and to really let all that, to let the day go? So think about that. I encourage you to, and you might want to write this down in your little notebook, is to pay attention for a day or a month or whatever to how you interact with water. What do you notice around water in your daily life? Again, this is Tarot the Stash Way, because it must mean something. So, all right. So lots of good stuff there. Let me get caught up in chat. Please, if you have any comments based upon the names, what do you call the suit associated with water, or basic correspondences, please let me know. Cleansing, definitely, yes. Water can be gentle, healing, and comforting. Can also be one of the most destructive forces on Earth. Has shaped most of the global landscapes. Yes, and isn't that interesting? Because when we think about water, you might not think a drip of water or a drop of water can do anything, but it can do things over a long period of time, like create the Grand Canyon. Kristen Louise, yes, you should be drinking more water. I think most of the animals and plants that live in water still need air to be alive. Okay, to live. It rained and gave my tree friends a drink of water. Yes. Turtle Dove is saying dragonflies are around right now. Love that. Water of life. Water is life. Water is transformative. Water flows into us and flows out of us. Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. And water does conform itself to whatever it is containing. And so it's very, guess what? Fluid. Water is fluid. So, love that. Okay. Speaking of which, I'm taking a sip. So I hope you have written down some of the names, what do you call the suit associated with water, and some of the basic correspondences to water. So, being in saltwater cleanses my energy after healing sessions. Also, negative ions. Ah. Everybody, please note that Heather and several others were talking about the dragonflies. Isn't this interesting how things can be multiple aspects? This is an important thing. This is stay tuned, because that will be after this series. Skivnix, water cleanses, yes. Water is all a conductive. Its vibrations can sing even when frozen. Great for channeling psychic energy, like when you're in the shower or both and get messages. Yes. Sound vibrations. I cannot remember the author's name, but it was referenced in What the Bleep Do We Know? Messages in Water, I believe. What you write on the water, it makes an impact. So don't say bath. I still can't take one. Bath. Talking about the city. So, okay. Now, this, I imagine, is what you are really interested in, because as we look at what are the qualities, this is what's going to be mostly be on your page. What are the qualities associated with water? And most of us know the idea of emotions. So when you think about the qualities of the element of water, what are the qualities around that? Emotion, healing. Somebody said the moon, and emotion. We have love. We have the idea of friendship. We have the understanding of rhythm, because water flows, it ebbs and flows. And why does it ebb and flow? Because it's associated to the moon. And the moon is extremely important. Look at this. I'm like, woo! What other things might be associated with the element of water or west? If we talk about emotions, it's the entire range of emotions. But they tend to be more of my experience of them. They tend to be more on the healing, the love, the romance, and the compassion side. You could also say it's about friendship, contentment. On the other side of that, it could also be about discontent. Could be premonitions. Water is both active and passive. It goes with the flow. It turns the water wheel. Yes, it does. Dreams, absolutely. Sacred spiritual in its use in water ceremonies to baptize, and the mikvah. Yes. Hi, Kiba. Good to see you. Kiba's here, everyone. Thinking about water, these are the looking at also the intuition. This is where we associate the queens with water, and with the ebb and flow and the rhythm of life. That's important. Think about that. It also goes with the ebb and flow. Think about hormones, menstruation, moods. This is also very important. A lot of things about dream work or dreams come here. Not only is it about me take a sip, get caught up on this. So, yes, water torture can cause drip, drip, drip can cause pain. And when thirsty, it could also sustain. Yes. The Japanese water book I have, it's a, oh yes, positive affirmations. So there are relatively few absolutes, if any, when you are reading tarot, because the card position in the spread and what's around it really do impact. So thinking about the qualities of the suit of cups or associated with water, you have things such as, we've mentioned a lot of positive things. There's also this idea of fantasy, but there's also some of the aspects that are not as affirming. There's the moodiness, there's excess and addiction, there's the psychic drains. Uh, Betsy and I are going to be doing a laugh and learn about protecting yourself psychically. And there's also, so we have those can be challenging things, but we also have more of the less dramatic things like being sociable, having aesthetics, things that make us feel good. It can be about serenity and grace. It's again, somebody we have mentioned before, dreams and the astral world. And so this is an important thing. The subconscious, so things that may not be known to us. So, oh, Patrice said we can float on water, swim through water, drown in water, suffer from a lack of water. That's very, very important. There are even water connoisseurs like wine. Yeah, that's beautiful, Patrice. Thank you. I've almost drowned many times surfing, but it made me a better swimmer. I would hope so, and I'm glad you're a better swimmer. Water on the knee, water on the brain, water bottoms up, water down the drain. I think you're getting this. I think you're seeing this. Oh, Tracy, you bring up something really interesting, and I'm going to write this down to think about this because this idea of emotional intelligence. And thinking about that, emotional intelligence, well, emotions are certainly water. Where is intelligence? I would picture it in the East or with the swords. You put those two together, very interesting. So, nature is powerful and requires our respect. Yes. One of the things that I have been struggling with is I'm very passionate about exploring tarot. So my cup overflows. I get very excited about this. It's taken me a long time to go, I want to share this with people. I've had a lot of encouragement. And one of the things that's important for me to remember is I have 25 plus years of reading tarot. And I need to remember to not be a fire hose and drown people who are watching this, you in the chat, you watching the playback. So I have to remember to, like the water of a water fountain, I have to turn the knob just right. And I'm following my intuition as I do that. So I'm trying to be in water with this. So, okay, water is represented by cups or containers. I guess that's too hard to depict something that's so changeable in an image. I can see that, yes. And the 3 rule includes water. 3 minutes without air 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. So there are a lot of qualities about water. And I think if as you write in your book, because your takeaways and your assignment is going to be, I want you to build on this conversation, because I want you to develop your own little book of how you are going to consider the element of water. Because then when we're done with all 4 elements or all 5 elements, then we're going to look at the 1 through 10. We're going to really look at that and understand those. I was actually reading yesterday, because hashtag I'm an overachiever. In this lovely book, The Holistic Tarot, Benebell talked about cups, and you could also relate it to the Holy Grail. And the Holy Grail is about a union with divinity. So really, the cups could be about the cups are the suit of divinity. Not a big stretch, is it? Not a big stretch. This is this idea of water. Love I love notes. Hormones, dreams, cycles of life. Oops, sorry. Timings, your subconscious. It's the right side of your brain. Think about that, because a lot of times when artists, and I'm talking about anyone who connects into the divine, they get a sense of being outside of themselves many times. Some of the best scientists, mathematicians, architects, they just get into this flow, water reference there, and then they create. When they have washed themselves away, they have this inspired outcome. And that's truly amazing. Now, contacting their muse, yes, and threes are also powerful. Yes, threes very much are. Now, I also have here, because if you think about water, am I doing okay? Y'all hearing me? You're following me? I'm gonna check in. This is my check-in with you. One of them. I'm gonna take a sip. This is a good stretch for me to be able to share this, because sooner or later I will probably teach this. So thanks, Tangi. Because thinking about, thank you, Fox with a book. Thank you, Heather, Robin, Betsy, appreciate it. Calla Lizzie. It's one of those things. See, I don't want to overcomplicate it, and I don't want to oversimplify it. And I encourage you to take away from this conversation what is meaningful for you. Your first takeaway is if you haven't started your notebook, please do so. And start taking some notes. Grow and expand. Also, water, there's references to water in astrology. I have a note here. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are all water suits. That could be something that could rise to the surface. It could bubble up and be needed. So, again, those basic, we talked about the names, lots of of names. I'd love to hear some other names than I've said, because I'm curious about those. Basic qualities, emotions, healing, psychic abilities, timing, and by psychic abilities, that includes all of the clairs. Hashtag future laugh and learn, hashtag laugh and learn, hashtag are you really good with the clairs, hashtag email me. Thanks for being here, Ack. Good flow and great pointers. Aww. Mentioned earlier, there are a lot of resources out there online. I think it's really very important for you to find the ones that match with you, that speak your language. And as I said earlier, find the one that stretches you, takes you out. I have there's a website that I found, I think it's learntarot.com. They actually put suit qualities down here of positive and negative. I think it's such a good, yes. Medium Betsy Palmer's in for the clairs. So, and I try to avoid the idea of the positive and negative, because sometimes what people could see as, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. So if you don't want to listen to this, it's okay. Skip over this. You're welcome, Ack. Sometimes people might think that being broody isn't a positive thing, but depending upon where it is in the reading, it could be exactly what you need to be. And cups are about emotions. Emotions are emotions, and they're just emotions. And I think that there's an important aspect of that, because sometimes you need to be calm and sometimes you need to scream at the top of your lungs, because that's what's the most healing thing. So Karen is here. Hi, Karen. So, all right. What questions do you have about the suit associated with water? What might be some other, what are some questions that you have that I can help? Boy, this is really, really good. What are you all drinking now? Okay, everything's getting caught up. Now, I'm going to hashtag purchase responsibly, know your limits. This the Holistic Tarot, I appreciate the way it is set up, because we have a great little chart, and the great chart here is it has a list of elements, and like the elements, the energy, astrological signs, the animal symbolism. How awesome is that? Now, will I need to remember those? Will I remember those? Maybe, maybe not. Do I need to remember those? Maybe, maybe not. I'm a very water person, so I trust my intuition. This is one of those things to where I actually hope you can create with your little cards. You can keep it simple, you can keep it straightforward, you can overcomplicate it, you can be an overachiever, you can also be an underachiever and just go, what is the Ace of Cups? There you go. Let's pull out my little chart with the water and the aces and put the two of those together and blend them together. So I think it's something to there. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying my damnedest to break Gerald up, but I think it's just water over the dam or under the bridge, or, I can just sieve through it. I'm scanning the chat. What is it you call for gold? When you do that, sifting for gold? Creativity associated with both water and fire. What resonates with you, Gerald, the most? Ooh, Heather, what a good question. Creativity that's a tough one because it's such a crossover. I think the inspiration comes from the wands or the fire, and the emotional attachment comes to it from the water side. So when you have that creativity, it's a beautiful mix and a blend of those. I think the sustained creativity for me is more water because it ebbs and flows, and hashtag, intermediate level. If you actually think about it, when you put fire and water together, what do you get? In equal balance or in appropriate balances, you get steam. And I think I think steam is one of those things. You've got to have that spark, then you got to add the right amount, and then amazing things can happen. Thank you for that question. It's a really great question. Susan is drinking water, coffee, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. And okay, just spiritual rain. Hello, you're late. You're a Pisces. I'm a water gal too. Excellent. Ebb and flow. I look at all the aces as raw energy, new beginnings. Very good. Stay tuned. Thank you, Betsy. When you're panning for gold, wow, it only took a minute. Yes, lots of people got that. I'll get the picture. Yeah, there you go. And a sieve too. My cup of knowledge runneth over. Thank you. Here's the thing. Water can be very, very playful in the right amounts. What's your association with water? And oh, look, Deb is here, Purple Elephant, Deb H, who, by the way, I'm a guest on her channel on Thursday. Like and subscribe. Sick, lurking Gerald. What I'm hearing as if you have a strong foundation and an element and an understanding of any given number, you can easily blend them to come to the essence of the card meaning. Ooh, ooh, where's my fan? Deb got it. Boom. You get steam. Yes, you get steam. It gets very, very steamy. And what's what's wonderful is see now I'm all excited. You do get steam. And what happens is with steam, you have to keep things in the right amount. Everything is about balance. There's something about the alchemy going on here. So Tracy Ralph says, I see water as the inspiration, emotion, and fire as the drive. I could definitely see that. I like electricity. I am going to have to think about this electricity in water because it is a conductor. I'm writing this down for me. So, oh yeah, Aquarius is one of those signs. It is an air sign, but it's the water bearer, so it's air that understands water. Isn't that interesting? Um, so I was planning on multitasking while this was on, but now I'm glued to the screen. It's just so good. Well, thank you, Betsy. And um, if you're watching this and you're watching the playback, feel free to um, leave a comment about your takeaways, because this idea is I want everybody to have some takeaways after you've watched this. What does your tarot notebook look like? You don't have to show it. I'm just curious because I'm a person who I like little pieces of paper. I want this in a 3-ring binder because I'm always adding to things. Now, if I were to go back to my younger self and go, if you've added something, please put a little note about where you found it. Because sometimes there's this, ooh, I didn't realize that. And suddenly I need to find that again. But again, hashtag overachiever. I'm thinking what steam will eventually evaporate out. Maybe it takes a spark of fire to get that steam going again. Well, thinking about steam is if it just blows out, it would do that. However, if you create steam and you filter it through something, then you get water again. If you filter it through charcoal, then you get something else. Emotional intelligence, Aquarius. I got that, Tracy. Very good. Oh, Robin's had an arrival. That's exciting. So I am going to take a moment and pause and ask you for, do you have one takeaway that you're willing to share in the chat or in comments? And Deb, if this needs to adjust, let me know. Let me know. What are your takeaways? One of my takeaways is I actually I love this idea of being fluid enough to be able to have little sheets of paper and put them next to each other. I think that's a good takeaway from me, because it forces me to truly think about something and go, okay, what is my relationship to water and how do I summarize that? Now, when you're reading, or when I'm reading, again, this is just my tradition, hashtag for entertainment purposes only. It's my tradition. Lots of great resources out there. Find the ones that work for you. When I'm reading, I try to get myself out of the way. So it's not about me, it's about the person that I'm reading, for whom I'm reading. Heather says, I've learned so much from everyone here. Yes, that you all have been wonderful. Tangi said, my takeaway is a memory I just got of skipping stones over the water. My record was 17 times and I've not yet surpassed that. Nice. Tracy Ralph said, for me, it is the connection of water to all the elements. And this is that interesting thing, new association with water. I'm an artist, so paintbrushes. Yes. Spiritual Rain said, I just popped in, so I missed most of the live, Gerald, but I'm so happy I have caught some. Two of Cups is a bit of a sad card for me. Not sure why. And we'll definitely talk about, we can talk about that when we finish up with the numerology aspect. Emotional intelligence, yes. Overflow and containment, yes. Love the steam thing. Water and fire, birthing process. I think that could be. So, all right. Thank you. I am looking forward to continuing this. We're just almost at an hour, and I'm trying to keep these at an hour. I appreciate it. Next up, by the way, I picked water because it's the closest associated season to autumn. And then I am specifically doing the minor arcana first because many people, like Rosemary talks about, some cards, they've got pages and pages written about them, and other cards, there's not that much written about them. So I think, oh, I haven't done the what is tarot and all that stuff conversation. Tarot itself, it's just a way of understanding for me what's going on in my world and how do I interact with it. And it gives me information that I already knew, or I didn't recognize, or I'm ignoring, or it's something else to consider. And so and the minor arcana are more of the everyday life sort of aspect, less of the grand archetypes. So we see ourselves definitely. I see myself in the minor arcana a lot. So, all right, everybody, you are so wonderful. There you go, Rain. Rain. We should do a reading collab one day and call it Tangerine Rain. I love that. Thank you, Medium Betsy Palmer. Do like and subscribe so you get notified when I do a next series of this. Thank you, Fox with the Book. I appreciate it. So everyone, thank you so very much. And you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.